Hi, folks. The episode will start shortly, but before we get into it, just wanted to pass on some sad news that came to us in the past week. And a lot of you may have already seen this. There's an artist, sketch card artist, who's great work. He's always done. He's always been a really good part of the community. Adam Conklin recently passed away from COVID, and so I just wanted to give him a shout out. Wherever he is, up there, drawing away, doing sketch cards from the heavens. Bless him. Lovely character, lovely guy. He was going to come on. We just never got the scheduling
that's
sorted.
Right.
So, and we don't even have his intro to bless you guys with, unfortunately. He was on one of the upper deck, the Q&As they do in the group.
He was like an active member. Like he was with Upper Deck, he was getting promoted on their site. His work was getting collected.
Yes.
Some of the biggest collectors of our hobbies were really loving his work and collecting his cards. I mean, he was here, and it was like everyone knew him immediately. Yeah. And his personality was very much like that too. Very kind, very sweet, and very much wanting to understand this world. And he contributed so much to it in the short time that he was here. So great. I'm so grateful to have had my experiences with him that we have had.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a post on group that sums it up perfectly. Acknowledges that Adam's a great person. He'll be missed greatly. He'll live on for his artwork, which is all true. There is a fundraiser, which is why I wanted to put this message at the top of the episode. This is to help the family and his daughters cover funeral expenses and the stuff they need. By the time people hear this, the service would have been and gone, but I'm sure they'll still need all the help they can get. So if you can, please, I'll put this link in the tasting notes to the episode, so you will find it on our Facebook page. I will put it on Twitter. Instagram is a little bit trickier to put links on. But I'll put a post up there and it will steer you to the right place. Please, if you can, throw in whatever you can spare towards Adam's memorial and to help his family out since his loss. But Adam, thank you. And on with the episode.
Hi, this is Sophia Cox, and you're listening to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ian Taylor, and you are listening to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast. Into 2022 like a champion, your weekly digest of hobby goodness, brought to you by the Marvel Cards Fan Collective, an awesome community of card collectors, creators, and PMG hunters. But we won't talk about that. You can find our true groups on Facebook, details of which are at the end of this podcast, so come check us out. With me, as always, is my co-pilot in all things Marvel cards. There's a place that keeps on calling him. Down the road is where he'll always be. Every set they make, he makes a new friend. Can't say how long, but just turn around and he's sold it again. It's Noin Rad.
Nice. Clever. Nice shade. Clever. That's good.
The littlest hobo. The littlest hobo. You can't go wrong with the littlest hobo. You do know what I'm talking about, don't you?
No idea.
You've never heard of the littlest hobo?
No, of course I don't. What is that?
The littlest hobo. Oh my goodness. Maybe it's an age thing. The littlest hobo. I'm gonna Google
highly.
It was a kind of I'm not gonna say a sitcom. It was about a dog that went on adventures.
They called the dog the littlest hobo.
The littlest hobo, yes, because he went from place to place doing stuff.
Hobo is what they called him.
Yeah. So I'm just going to get rid of this. I'm just going to get rid of this advert.
Hey, Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. No, he wasn't in it. Here we go.
There's a voice keeps on calling me.
Maybe it is some voiceover
Down
work.
the road, that's where I'll
What
always be.
the F is this?
Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down.
mean, it's adorable. It's a dog running through a field. I mean, it's real. And he's carrying his gun. Why is the gun a rifle? Not a regular gun, but a giant rifle. Man, this is hardcore 70s.
Seriously, I can't. That's what I mean. It must be just before your time because it was on TV in the UK in the early 80s, which is why I know it.
I don't know if that title would have ever flown in America.
It's an American show. It's an American show.
There's no way in hell that is an American show.
I to you not, my friend. This is an American show. I don't know how else to explain it to you. Oh no, hang on. Sorry. I'm gonna. Right, I take it back. I was wrong.
Okay, you should take it back because I wanted a full apology.
You have a full apology
for being like I was crazy.
People. It was Canadian. Here we go.
Because look.
So, The Littlest Hobo is a Canadian television series, thanks Wikipedia, by the way, based upon a 1958 American film. It's based upon a 1958 American film of the same name.
1958.
Yeah.
58. I just want you to hear that. 58.
Can I just say, so it ran first in the 60s and then they made 6 series in the 70s from 79 to 85. And that's the one that you've just heard. So that's the late 70s one. All 3 productions revolved around an extremely intelligent stray German shepherd, the titular hobo, who wanders from town to town, helping people in need. So he's kind of
wait, I want people to hear this. I'm looking at the poster, and the tagline on the poster says, "Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on."
Yeah, basically, that's it. That's kind of what it does.
Even mean? What does that mean?
This is like
what is this? The littlest hobo.
The littlest
hobo is not. Wow, Jesus.
Is hobo
Man,
not
there's
politically
some weird
correct
stuff
anymore?
going on. Referred to as Gulliver in a single episode, the dog is often referred to by name as Hobo. By the names given temporary human companions. Wow,
it's brilliant. It's kind of like the Equalizer of the dog world.
No, I'm gonna say no because A, made no sense, and 2, it's an ownerless dog. Ownerless dog. Wow, this is weird.
You are oddly offended by this reference.
I'm oddly. It's very strange.
Seriously,
I
you need to get this on your syllabus for your students.
No, of course. I mean, this is a masterpiece at work here.
I kid you. It ran for 6 years, so it can't be that.
I mean, no, it has to be good if it's around for 6 years.
I loved it. I was.
The Housewives reality TV show has been around for over a decade too.
It was on between the ages of 6 to 12 for me. So it's a big part of my formative years.
I mean, I don't mean to crap all over childhood memory. I was highly offended that you thought I was the freak for not remembering a Canadian show. Did I say that out loud? We're moving on, people.
Let's move on, people.
From the littlest hobo. Like the littlest hobo, we are going to move on. And until tomorrow.
We're going to be moving on. Until tomorrow. Until tomorrow. Let's talk about the intro.
It's actually not a bad song.
It is a really catchy song. So
this sounds nice.
We'll go into other late 70s light entertainment programs next episode. So I want to talk about our intro artist before we get into the meat of today's episode.
Yes.
Who is Sophia Cox. And Sophia first sprang to my attention for her work on Masterpieces 2020. Kind of everyone went a bit nuts about her stuff, but Marvel Premiere 2019, she was also on, as well as the Marvel Annual from the previous year. And she has told me that she's also working on the upcoming Spider-Man Metal Universe set.
Wow, that's exciting.
So I'm looking forward to seeing her stuff because Sophia does some pretty tight stuff. As if you scroll down her Instagram, you'll see some of her Masterpieces 2020 work, and it's brilliant. I love the colors. Really nice.
She does beautiful work. It's very much a cross between Owens and we were mentioning before Elfie.
Yes, it's got a and that's a good homage to make, actually, and in no way.
And they're beautiful. They what's nice about her style is that her faces are very much her own.
Yeah.
So like the size of the eyes, the face structure, it's very indicative of her style. So you're going to be able to see a Sophia piece
I love that.
quite quickly and recognize it, which is always fun. Gambit looks great. She does Gambit,
done some
Rogue.
great
She did a bunch.
Black
Well, I mean,
Cats.
that's not Rogue. That's Emma Frost, I think.
Yeah.
Black Cat looks great in there.
Black Cat looks great in there. I'm just trying to find some more of a. Here's a premiere.
Oh, she did. Yeah, she did a bunch of stuff. Spider-Gwen.
Oh, look at that Spider-Man. He's getting venomized.
Yeah, that's a reference to the movie. That's very cool.
That's a double panel premiere from 2019.
Oh yeah, look at that. That looks really good.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Like
By the
it a
way,
lot.
folks, you can find this. You can find all this goodness at Sophia Cox Art. That's Sophia Coxart on Instagram. We'll pop a link to that in the tasting notes. Sophia, I'm really looking forward to seeing some of your stuff from Spidey Metal Universe. So do at some point when your schedule is open, come and talk to us on the episode. Tell us what you're all about.
Oh, that'd be a blast. Yeah.
I'm loving her stuff. She does some really good comic cover panels as well.
Ah, she does great stuff. Yeah.
It's
Beautiful.
really nice. Yeah, black and white inking is gorgeous. Look at that Red Sonja.
Very cool. Very cool.
Lots of Inktober stuff as well. Ladybug. Who's Ladybug?
Ladybug's. I feel like I know who Ladybug is.
I'm just having a look at the hashtags to see if it tells me what it is, but I have no idea what Ladybug is. But look at that. That's got to be vying for Squirrel Girl in terms of cuteness.
She looks familiar. Yeah, it's very cool looking.
Yeah, I've no idea. Oh, maybe Sophia will come on and tell us. Look at that. Kitty and Lockheed. It's good stuff. I love a bit of Lockheed when people.
I think he's great.
Cards. It cracks me up a little bit because I've not read a massive amount of X-Men, but the stuff of X-Men I have read, I've always been pleasanted by the appearance of Lockheed.
Pleasantly pleasanted by the appearance of Lockheed.
It's 2022. My powers of speech are devolving year on year.
Hey, we're still processing last year. So
I'm still processing 1975. 1979, clearly, because I'm talking about the Liz Hobo. She does good magic.
That's when it was canceled. I mean, I don't mean to bring it up.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Where they took him out back. What happened?
Took him out back. Got rabies.
Like, sorry, we got to put him down.
Yeah, had to shoot him. Old Yellow all over again. But anyway, Sophia,
very cool.
Your stuff's great. I love it. You do a mean
So
black
awesome.
cat. And yeah, go check her out. Go get a commission, and maybe even see if you can get on our AP list for Spidey Metal Universe if it's not already full. Because I imagine people will also already have been reaching out to artists for that one.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
APs. So this episode, my friend, we are going to revisit and replay the preview of 2022 that we had from our friend Travis at Upper Deck on last week's episode. So this is our post-game.
Post-game.
And I will insert some NFL post-game music here that will get us sued.
I'm excited.
You will be excited. You've no idea what that sounds like because you don't watch NFL, but it'll be in there.
No.
It'll sound good. It'll sound like
Are there
manly.
dogs in the NFL?
No, but there is such a thing as Puppy Bowl, where people film loads of
I've
puppies.
seen the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah, they
Huge
also do
fan. It
Kid
happens after, not the Thanksgiving parade, but what happens, the Best in Show and then Puppy Bowl usually happens after that, from what I remember. Or maybe it's a Christmas Day.
The one I'm talking about is literally while the Super Bowl's on, someone just live streams a load of puppies in a mini kind of football field arena thing.
I've seen that.
Just mooching around and doing their stuff. And there's a similar one with kittens.
It's once they start making trading cards for that, it's over.
Yep.
Like that's the big spec of 2022.
Yeah. They used to do one with babies, but it didn't last so long. Anyway, so let's Baby Bowl. That sounds wrong on so many levels.
I can see people gambling on different babies. I'll take the baby in the red diaper baby, 400.
Yeah. I'll take the yellow diaper. He's got some teeth. Hashtag Baby Bowl.
Exploiting children.
So Travis, basically, I'm going to pick up on the word that he used repeatedly to describe their 2021, which was interesting. I thought it was, I'm going to use it again, interesting what he was saying about the fact that they've been so impacted by supply chain problems. So just the raw materials coming down the pipe for them to actually make some of the products, which, you know, regardless of the actual printing facilities shutting down, it's the knock-on effect of shutdowns elsewhere where they get the supplies to actually create the product.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people just, I guess, don't think about as much when they're kind of...
I mean, paper, foiling. I mean, there's quite a bit of things that are limited resources right now because people are, you know, unfortunately passing away or not doing those jobs anymore or whatever the case may be. Yeah.
But some of it comes in from overseas, you know, and global shipping supply chains are all
so all those ships are still stuck out there.
So that stuff. I mean, you know, randomly, you know, we've noticed it here in terms of some of the stuff that's in the shops. So you know, I get it. But you know, you can imagine some of those foils that they use, especially for the rainbow foiling and things like that. You know, I mean, I've no idea what goes into it. It's more than just cardboard, that's for sure. I mean, some 100%. Of those things would set off a metal detector when they go through the airport. Has anyone actually tried that? Can someone actually take a marble metal card through a metal detector at an airport and see if it sets it off? And I'm talking about
just
the original one.
So you have it all over you, and you just like slowly reveal the whole set to the person. It's like, and do you have anything else? Like, oh wait, I forgot this Psylocke. Excuse me. It's like, sir, please go through the metal detector again.
Can you imagine a metal detector?
I forgot this Spider-Man. Sorry. Oh, so awkward.
Oh, that'll never grade. Where have you had that, sir? Anyway, so they've got quite a backup of product. And I thought it was interesting. He said that they were also, you know, they've got that backup of product, but they're also trying to grow the business, which, you know, every business obviously tries to do. So, so that must be incredibly frustrating for them. So what could he tell us about? Well, Marvel Annual 2021 is definitely going to be January the 12th, which will be, when's this episode dropping? Hang on a sec. January the 12th. So that will be the day before this episode drops.
Ew.
If it holds. But bizarrely enough, someone's already managed to purchase some on eBay and did a box break.
I saw there was another box on eBay recently.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday. I was very tempted to grab it, but for the fact that I didn't, because I'm paying for something else at the moment. But yeah, and it looks all right. It certainly looks better than 1920 in terms of the, you know, the centering.
Yeah, the year brackets. Yeah,
it looks like they've sorted all that out. So that will be out there now as we talk. But I thought the interesting thing for me was the Spider-Man Metal Universe definitely going to be delayed.
Yeah,
until at least Q2.
That's a shame.
So after Annual, that might be it in terms of physical release until Spider Metal Universe.
I'm assuming so.
April, May, maybe.
I'm assuming so. Hopefully not. Hopefully a little more. But.
So, you know, which is a shame. But, and then, of course, he gave us that little sneak preview, which was just for our eyes only.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
One of 3 that he did on the episode, I should say. So
nice. That was really cool. Yeah, that was really, really cool.
And we really can't talk about those, unfortunately. Sorry, folks. Annoying as it must have been for you to hear it. But yeah, sorry, not sorry on that one. Because what we saw...
It was very much pertaining to us. So just so everybody knows.
What we saw was good. Let's put it that way. Very good.
Very good.
In fact, exceptionally good in the case of Fleer Ultra.
Yeah, it looked great, man. It looked really good. Yeah.
So... But yeah, the interesting thing, he was saying, you know, Spidey Metal, they're so far behind on it that I don't think it's even fully approved or even started production. So,
yeah, that's pretty strange. That's pretty strange.
Yeah. So, but he did mention that because it's the anniversary of Spider-Man, it's the 60th anniversary? Hang on, where are we?
Wow.
2022. Yeah, it'd be the 60th anniversary of Spidey this year. So having that come out this year isn't a bad thing.
No.
And then, of course, Spidey Into the Verse
Agreed.
is coming.
Which I'm excited about.
You are very excited. You've seen that.
I'm actually super excited about Spider-Verse. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I love that movie. It has to be one of my favorites. It's a very complicated narrative to do something like that, and they pulled it off immensely. Beautiful art direction. I mean, I don't know, they killed that movie. Good stuff.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, one thing, he mentioned obviously they're keeping to the art style of the movie.
That's going to make for really cool cards to see that effect.
And he was,
and plus it's Miles Morales' like first major picture in Spider-Gwen too. So if they have those autographs, those are going to be really cool first time autos.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, because they were talking about voice actors being in there.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Is Black Cat in that film?
No, unfortunately. You haven't seen it yet?
No.
Oh, you're gonna love it. It's a great
we've
piece.
talked about how far behind I am with all sorts of animated Marvel. I'm decades.
Oh, it's okay. It's no big deal.
I need to catch up.
It was really good. It's a really good piece. Black Cat's not in it, unfortunately. But hopefully in this next film we can see some pretty cool characters that you and I like.
Yeah. Well, fortunately from my point of view, because I know that she's going to be in. So that's the interesting thing about the Marvel Annual, having a few products being slipped out. One person's broken some boxes on eBay, so I know she's in. I saw that. I know she's in the base set because I could buy the variant of the base set card now on eBay if I wanted to.
Wow.
I mean, I'll wait because, I'll be able to get it for like 50 cents. I'm not in that much of a rush.
Yeah, at one point, yeah.
I'm not going to pay $7 for it just to get an early bird on it. But yeah, no, it looks good. Looks good. But yeah, so Into the Verse. And I think he was talking about that until kind of early summer 2022. So at least 2 big Spidey sets for the 60th anniversary, which is good. And the reason why I said at least 2, because we asked him obviously about a No Way Home set. Now you've seen No Way Home now, haven't you?
Yes.
Good. So have I. When people hear this, it will be almost a month until it's come out. So do you think we can talk about it yet?
More than enough.
I think we can talk about it now. We are going to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. So if you haven't seen it, just fast forward a little bit until you hear one of us make this noise. Okay, good. And when people hear that noise, that'll be it. Okay, so
that poor farm animal, it's in such pain.
Yeah, it's the noise I make when I haven't had enough fiber in my diet. Anyway, so the starting 22 as we mean to go on.
Oh God!
I wish we'd been recording earlier. Yes. Oh, I also say that.
That's no. We're moving on. We're moving on, as you should be to different food groups. Let's go.
Definitely should. Oh, I've eaten so much this holidays, as you call them.
Really?
Yeah, I've just been it's been like 6 meals a day around here, if you count snacks and things like that. It's crazy.
So when was your Boxing Day?
It's the day after Christmas Day.
Okay, so what'd you get in your cracker then? Did you guys do crackers?
Table crackers, yes.
No, real crackers. No, yeah, table crackers. The ones you pull and you get the little gift and joke. They were little cardboard cutout. You put them together. They're like Christmas tree decoration things that my daughter all grabbed for her things. I tell you what I did get. I got a Lego Avengers Advent calendar. Oh,
but I got it
cool.
like on Christmas Day. So of course I can't open it day by day. I'm just going to open it all in one go. I'm going to love it. But isn't
that the way around Advent calendars? That's the way to do it. You just get it on the day of Christmas. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can just do it all in one rather than
reminisce about the days Yeah.
But I was looking at the box and there's a Tony Stark, but instead of his like Iron Man thing, he's got a Christmas jumper.
That's cute.
And so they've Christmasified it a bit.
I love it.
And there's a Thanos in there as well, but I'm not sure if he's got Christmas outfit on as well.
Does he have like the Rudolph nose?
I don't know. I don't know. He's carrying a sack, so maybe it's Santa Thanos.
Well, what?
Well, Thanos and Santa, you could anagram those. Are they like almost?
No, you
like,
can't. How
No, hang
can
on a
you
minute.
no, no,
S-A-N
no. There's no
is in
line
there.
you
T
can
is in
draw
there.
between Santa Claus and Thanos.
I'm sure, if given the time, I could create some sort of argument
Given
for a
the
connection of
time.
Santa and Thanos. I'll work on it for next year because I'll probably need that much.
Good, perfect. There you go.
I'll work on
There,
it.
you
next
have a
year.
year, okay, to make a very sound argument that
I have a
Santa
year
Claus
that says
in some way is like Thanos.
is like Thanos. We haven't talked about No Way Home at all. Anyway, so No Way Home. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And if they don't get, and this is spoilers, folks, I'm going to say it again. If they don't get signers in there that include
Jesus,
the two other Spideys at least,
they're gonna have to, man.
Yeah, I mean, they must be chasing them. I mean, they've both signed before, which is good.
Yeah, they have.
They've both done on card before as well, which is also good.
True.
So so actually we'll come on to the on card thing in a minute because there was a rather interesting conversation with Travis about on card that I was re-listening to, and I got some good tidbits on that I want us to muse on. But anyway, but I really want an auto from I can't even remember his name now. Alfred Molina. I really want a Willem Dafoe. I'd love a Jamie Foxx if it was in there.
Jamie Foxx would be fun.
I'd really love a Thomas Hayden Church, even though he's primarily voice only. And I'd simply because I really dig him in Sideways. If nothing else,
he's great in Sideways. Yeah. He's awesome in Sideways. Paul Giamatti. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. And
I like Sandman. Sandman was probably my favorite addition to the villains in the movie. It's I enjoyed his tidbits quite a bit.
What I really like about it is like I felt he got quite short shrift in Spider-Man 3, in the Raimi one.
Yeah,
so you kind of got a lot of the backstory that maybe that film didn't have time for because it had so many elements to it. Which is why it didn't really work.
I mean, it's a big deal. I mean, I think what's nice about Spider-Man No Way Home, real quickly, is that so much about, it's interesting because the difference between Batman and Spider-Man is strange in the sense that it's their villains, right? The villains in Spider-Man and Batman both have this nature to them where they fall into these situations in life that they can't really overcome and help, and they become villains through those experiences. And in some strange way, you sympathize with them and you empathize with them, and you kind of feel like, well, yeah, I mean, look what happened there. How are they able to avoid this? Freeze losing his wife, Doc Ock losing his wife. Like, there's a lot of great parallels between those villains. And I think what No Way Home did really well is tap into those melodramas.
Yes.
With the villains. And it wasn't so much about the hokey battles and all this other stuff. And there's a lot of great action in the film. But what ends up being is that these villains all have these loose threads in the multiverse. And what's really cool about No Way Home is that you see all those loose threads kind of tied up and everyone's given a second life in a way.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the most interesting ways to bring back characters who are not really satisfied in the zeitgeist, right? Their storylines never fully.
Well, they got redemption of sorts.
Yeah, redemption of sorts. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a really interesting way of doing that.
Yeah, it's the one thing that people don't kind of forget is that Stan Lee was always really good at creating villains that had a human element to them.
Yes,
had a background, had a story. So they weren't just kind of two-dimensional in that way. So yeah, even for those very early books, I mean, he knew what he was doing, which is good. Anyway, I love it. So there's your noise. So we'll stop talking about spoilers. But what he did say was that with Flewatch, No Way Home, is that they're quite a long way off from that set coming out because obviously they couldn't get any of the imagery beforehand. They couldn't approach the actors beforehand. I mean, literally till the movie came out. Yeah, is the sense I got. So they're only just kind of now starting to really get going on it. So probably end of the year at the earliest, but most likely early 2023, which is fine.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird, but in a sense, we all have to understand that if Marvel doesn't release images, no cards can be made. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and if they're not allowed
and
to
that's the
actors,
thing, like, right. Yeah. And right now the nature of Marvel movies is They don't want spoilers, which makes total sense.
Yeah.
And they don't want things to be ruined for people who don't get to see the movie the opening night or even a couple of nights before when all of the news media leaks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully now that, hopefully we won't have spoiled it for anyone, but you did get the animal noise. So what can you do? I'm really excited.
What can you do?
That Unbound is going to be year 2 with Fred in, because the artwork on that set is just tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
Original artwork every week. Masterpieces standard artwork, as far as I'm concerned.
100%.
And it means that that's highly likely that my girl will appear.
Yes. I mean, she has to at this point, right? I mean, especially if Freddie Ian's doing it for a second year.
Well, year 1, I might have had a sneaky peek at the list that may have accidentally fallen under my eyeballs, or the eyeballs of someone I know, and I don't think she was on it for year 1. But if there's going to be a year 2, then she'll be in there. So, and I'm sure she'll be as they do that character justice. But you never know. One of your characters might make it in.
I mean, my character might make it in. Might be kind of crazy.
Might do.
Yeah.
Because you've had Gambit, and I know you're keen on Gambit.
Yeah, Gambit's there. Gambit was there. He did a great Gambit. Beautiful Gambit.
In fact, that was an absolutely astonishing Gambit. It was really good.
Yeah, it really was.
So much vibrancy.
Gorgeous. Beautiful colors, beautiful render. It was a really nice piece.
So it
might be. It really might be.
Oh.
Yeah. I think Surfer is in the ether.
Ether, definitely.
Possibly coming out sooner than later. So my fingers are crossed. I'm excited.
Have you
really
been
looking forward to it.
Have you been saving?
No, I'm totally screwed. No, I got nothing.
Oh,
I got nothing.
All right. You get back to Craigslist then.
Pretty much. Knee pads and all.
Oh dear. Anyway, and you think I was bad, people?
It's your fault.
Is it me? Am I very
100% you?
You're a very impressionable 30.
Always.
Yeah. I've absolutely no idea how old you are, by the way. I know. I can't remember.
42.
40. You're not 42. You're not in the 40s?
No, I'm not 42. I'm 28.
No, you're certainly not 28. I know you're in the 30s.
I'm 36.
Hey, I knew you were somewhere in there. I know you were somewhere
in there.
You're not even middle-aged yet. You're fine. Faster sneezes. Marvel
What?
faster sneezes.
I hate that. Damn it.
That was his code word. His choice, not mine.
His choice.
His choice. He actually suggested it. He was going to call it faster sneezes.
Faster sneezes.
We did try and pin him down on that, and he had a choice of pina colada for yes and cucumbers for no, which was his code words. And we might.
It says a lot about Travis.
It does actually.
Want that out there.
It does. We might see it in 2022, but it'll be later in the year if we do. He confirmed, and I was very careful to ask the word new artwork here. I said, have you seen any new artwork for the new Masterpieces set? And he said, yes.
That's fascinating.
So that's interesting. But he can't tell us who it is, which is, I guess, understandable.
Completely.
Yep. So we know as much as you do on this, people. That is all I know about it.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
I've no idea. Whereas this time for 2020, we'd seen the back of the sketch cards at least, hadn't we?
Yeah, I think once sketch cards go out,
cards go out, it's all bets are off. Everyone will be rushing to get some sort of scoop or exclusive.
Scoop.
Quick, let's be first. Let's get on Instagram first with it. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely think it's going to be painful.
It will
be careful sharing those things. You guys can get artists in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can actually. I mean, when the artists do it, it's interesting. When the artists do it, I often see other artists pulling them up, and some artists are understandably a little bit concerned about that because they themselves don't want to get in trouble. Some artists, on the other hand, don't give a flying monkeys. Anyway,
I like it.
As someone actually did see, someone went to a con recently. I can't remember who it was. Might have been Chris Mixer. Mix.
Chris.
And I think he went to a con and he saw artists selling blanks from sets that hadn't come out yet. do you remember?
Yeah.
I saw the pictures. I think some of the stock was into the verse. I can't remember what the other one was. And I thought that takes balls. That takes a lot of balls.
Yeah, that's
I'm
crazy.
pretty sure that you're not allowed to do that with your contract. Anyway, I who am I to judge? It was lovely to be able to see the card stock.
Yeah, that's true.
So there is that. So what else? Premiere is coming, but I think there's just a slowdown on that with the rate of the artwork coming in from artists because of
shipping stuff, I'm sure. Printing stuff also for the base.
Yeah. So,
those cards are very complicated, man, between shadow boxes and the foiling and stuff like that. Those are not easy cards to make, I would imagine.
They're not. No, the production on them will be high end. They're partially packed by hand, as we know, because that oversized sketch goes.
That's right. That was kind of cool to see.
So the packaging is hand finished. If it's anything like previous Premiere sets, the base card art will be digital. He didn't confirm that, but I can't imagine they'll vary that. And I believe the last time it was a couple of South American artists, the names of which escape me. So apologies if you're listening, gentlemen. But for 2019, it was all digital because I remember the question being asked about the original art, and it's like,
right.
It's just inside a computer. So unless you're into buying NFTs, then I'm sure the artist could do that. The NFT side of things. Would you buy an NFT? Would you buy something that doesn't physically, tangibly exist in the real world?
It's funny. I had to give this serious thought because I know that certain NFTs have been released already, like Spider-Man and Iron Man and certain ones. And they're basically 3D models in particular poses that you could use in VR to set in your room and to put in particular places. And I think I was told by a friend particular things about NFTs that made me understand them a little bit more. So I don't think they're as idiotic as I once thought that they were, only because of what people, I am assuming, going to be doing in the future with NFTs. For me, if there was a surfer one, and it was under $100, maybe under $50, because it's just throwing the money away at this point, because who knows what's going to happen 30 years down the line when NFTs will actually be, of some significance. It would just depend. I'm sure if they caught me on the right day, like first NFT silver server, come get it, I would definitely have to most likely be FOMO'd into buying it and then never looking at it on my phone. I don't know. Like for me, I need a physical. I need something physical. Here's the thing too, right? Our collectible world, our footprint on the collectible world in terms of what we have in our homes and stuff is pretty small, because cards are, nice and compact, right? So it's not like we're collecting, I remember when you had all the comic books like that, all those long boxes and stuff. That's a lot of space.
I've still got a chunk of them, but yeah.
You still have a chunk? So when it comes to cards, it's pretty nice because they don't take a lot of space. So that's why I tend to enjoy those the most. And I think that's why a lot of people also are getting into cards now more than ever. Because here's this collectible I can have and display, but I don't have to necessarily have a second storage unit to store everything. I think that's partially, part of it too. It's part of the trading card charm.
It is.
There is.
Unless you have one of those, I guess I'm just trying to think, storing an NFT, can it be in more than one place at one time? Is it only one digital copy of something? And therefore, could it in theory be on a USB, for example, within your Pelican case? Do you see what I mean? Or does it?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
If you think about it, if you think about it, and then anything that's going to be digital collectibles can be stored on one hard drive, and that's it. You know what I mean? You have your viewing monitor, and you have a monitor with you, and you have your storage.
Is it Star Wars or Star Trek have that thing where you can? It's a little box or a pad.
Yeah, it's a hologram, right? It's the thing that.
That's what you want.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope.
Yeah, that's what you want. Open your Pelican case, push it, Little server floating there,
And-
just spinning around.
And it's floating around. Now, this is the crazy thing to think about. That hologram that pops up, that's going to be so low res, right? Because it'll take so many generations of it being high res, where it will look something like out of Blade Runner 2049. You know what I mean? Where you have these holograms of people and all this stuff moving around. I mean, it's just, things are going to change. Evolution is going to take place. Physical products are going to be more difficult to get, as we're seeing with the pandemic now. I mean, look at all the releases. More difficult to make. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of stress on the environment. And, making computer chips too are extremely disgusting, what we have to do to mine those and do to laborers and people. I don't know. There's a lot of give and takes. There's always some switch off of some nature. But to answer your serious question, instead of me waxing on about the stuff as I am, I would definitely say that, FOMO would kick in. I'd probably pick one up and then realize how stupid I feel and then never do it again.
Yeah. It's kind of like buying an all digital pack online, isn't it?
I can't do the digital packs, man. It's just not for me. I can't do it. I get it. I like the idea of ComC and keeping physical cards somewhere, because I know that helps out a lot of people who buy a lot of cards.
Yeah.
Which I think is super important.
I mean, we know
and I think it's great.
Store them there.
Huge. Yeah. Instead of having to put them in the house or seconds. I mean, I think it's a really nice service. And I think that makes a lot of sense for people who are buying in, but digital cards just have digital cards. I know people enjoy them. This is not me putting those down, because I actually think they're great for people who just want to have a digital collection. There's nothing wrong with that. But I like what I have physically. I like what I have. So
I like what you have physically as well.
Well, sorry, let me move the monitor. My face is up here, Ian. Gosh, super embarrassing.
Which leads me nicely onto Allure.
And
your shiny Allure I just saw.
The shiny Allure.
I imagine the surfer does have a shiny Allure. Anyway, so he confirmed.
So I collect them.
He confirmed a little bit. Hey, we know someone's done. I'm going to ask. This is such a childish question. I'm going to ask it anyway. We know at least one artist did Surfer with Ears. Has anyone?
You are like 4. This is for kids. Children listen to this podcast.
I was going to ask if anyone had done the Surfer with nipples.
Okay. Were you?
Yes.
Were you? Because you're turning red.
Possibly
and
not.
You only turn that color when you're hiding something. Well, actually, it's funny. On the back of, remember, Fantastic Four was during that Marvel superhero hour on television early in the morning. Yeah. So they came out with toys, and they had a Silver Surfer on the back there, and he does have like nipples. On the back of the toy, like the picture of him is the back of the toy, and it's the same picture from Rinhouse Marvel Universe.
Oh, really?
So I have the card. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So I noticed it was the same Marvel license image. But yeah, he does have nipples.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, there you go. He has. So it's not actual nipples. It looks like a nipple. I'm saying nipple a lot on this podcast, and that's always exciting.
Which set is that? Oh, that's a Rittenhouse one. Okay. Oh, it does, doesn't it?
It looks like it. It's supposed to be like the circle for the surfing thing and stuff. Yeah. So there's supposed to be no nips, but definitely looks like a nip.
Well, it's a lovely card anyway.
Surfer fact.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful card, regardless of the nip.
It's a very beautiful card. It is very nippy.
I'm so mad at you.
So Allure. So it's confirmed that it's going to be an MCU focused set. And it's going to be shiny. And he used the example of Marvel Vibranium as a near example.
That's exciting, by the way.
Yeah. Allure is an established brand in sports. So this will be its first kind of Marvel incarnation. So I think they're aiming for, I don't know if it's going to be quite as top end as Black Diamond, but they're certainly approaching it with the same care. He confirmed. So yeah, beyond that, it will have actor autos and possibly some new signers, which is great.
That's going to be great. That was a really big thing they revealed that I was pretty taken back about. I'm excited about that. I'm really, really excited about that.
I am as well. while we're talking about the signers, then let's go on because he gave us some interesting information about autos, because you asked him about sticker and on card autos, and I thought it was very interesting that we know they can do on card because they did that Bond set recently, which had beautiful on card autos, and I think he was saying that their will is there, they're wanting to push for on card. But so many things like dictate that it might have to be. It's interesting he called them labels rather than stickers. That's their like internal vernacular for it.
That was interesting,
which I thought was cool. But one of the interesting, because I think timing of when the actor signs, based on whether they have the images approved to actually print the card for the actors to sign, I think is the biggest one. So if you're looking at No Way Home, for example, if any of the card imagery has something in that wouldn't be released before the movie was out, but they've got the actor on card in December 2021, then they can't have the actor sign the card because they haven't physically printed the card.
They can't physically make it.
Yeah. And of course, you've got to go with the actor availability, because what if they're off to other projects, or what if their tenure with Marvel finishes for some reason? You know,
or they could be in another country filming a movie.
So you've got that. But I thought it was also very interesting that some of the actor contracts specify whether it's going to be on card or whether it's going to be sticker. And I didn't get that until Travis said something about the fact
I mean, I kind of knew that. Yeah.
Prefer it to be on card, because they don't like the fact that their auto is on a sticker that could be put on anything that they
stickers
might not
can
approve.
appear anywhere.
Yeah, they might.
That's
not
how I would be.
what it goes on.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. I just think it was great that we got a little bit more insight into actual, as much as they're able to give us as to the reasons why stickers exist, or labels, or whatever they're called.
I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense. And it was always my suspicion that the sticker thing was there because of A, printing, and B, specific actor contracts and Marvel contracts.
Mm-hmm.
But there should be some kind of synergy on Marvel's side, because I feel like Star Wars does this extremely well. With cards, with on-card autos and sticker autos with tops. I feel like there's a real understanding that high premium products have on-card, and then, these products over here have sticker. So I think that makes a lot of sense. The problem is I'm sure they want that to happen. I'm sure they want that synergy and that kind of thing to work out. But Marvel movies now, each movie, I would say, has been shrouded in secrecy.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to change. Like, certain movies probably won't have that secrecy. Like, for instance, like Moon Knight, right? I don't know if Moonlight has those particular secrets of like crossovers, like we saw on No Way Home. By the way, that would be really cool. Spoiler alert, if Charlie Cox gets a Daredevil auto. I think that would be really cool.
And I already know that there's another MCU, there's another Netflix actor in Hawkeye, because it's been spoiled for me on the internet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who didn't know. So we can talk about it. So there's going to be a spoiler for Hawkeye, folks. So I know that Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin appears in Hawkeye, because I haven't managed to watch Hawkeye yet, and it was straight away, because it's trending and stuff like that, and even the actor himself goes on and posts about it, and I'm like, so I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know to what extent he's in there. But for me, that fills my heart with absolute joy, because his portrayal of the Kingpin was possibly one of the most spot on. You couldn't cast it any better.
Agreed.
Oh my God, great actor. Just completely nails it. Moments of almost any Marvel property I've ever seen, and
I mean, it's just amazing. The likeness, the tone, everything, the pacing,
and he's so good. He's such a good actor, but he didn't sign for the Defenders. Sorry, not Defenders. For the Daredevil set at all.
Oh, damn.
Notable by his absence. I don't know if he's necessarily someone who's very signy-whiny. So for my money, if he appeared in a Hawkeye set, I'd be a very happy man indeed. Obviously.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Echo's in there. Echo's a really cool new character, too.
Yes, she's appearing in something, isn't she? Cool.
Yeah, that'd
Good.
be cool. Just
Good.
because, a lot of cool new characters,
Okay.
people doing different things. It's gonna be really awesome.
But the one thing that stuck out for me from something Travis said is that the Marvel Studios product line is moving so quickly because of the challenges Upper Deck are having. They can't keep up. They've got the one. He spoke about it a year ago. WandaVision set, Captain and Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki sets are just hamstrung by these production issues that they've got. So, they wanted them out by now, and then already you're on to What If, and then already you're on to Hawkeye, and then what's the next thing coming up? Is it Ms. Marvel coming up next, or She-Hulk?
I hope She-Hulk is soon.
Yeah. But it's like, it's constant. And already you've got Eternals, Shang-Chi, in terms of the movies.
Yeah.
What did he say? Shang-Chi is actually ahead of Eternals in terms of their production on it as a card set. So that's likely to be the card set that comes out before the Eternals.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we know Multiverse of Madness is coming because that was the very end.
That's going to be crazy.
Trailer of No Way Home. So that is going to be absolutely bonkers. And, you can't obviously do that trailer until No Way Home has come out. I mean, you couldn't have shown that trailer until No Way Home came out. It doesn't make sense. So the fact that the stories are all feeding into one another, you can imagine this all feeds into what they are and aren't allowed to have in terms of imagery.
Yeah, I know.
It's highly likely Upper Deck wouldn't have even been able to be being told officially who was in some of these films to even approach them for an autograph.
I know.
So, you can imagine the secrecy that I have to proceed with.
The restrictions that you've had placed on them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Pain.
But going back to the art sets, there was a couple of interesting ones. I love the fact that there is going to be an anime 2.
That's going to be great. We should say this too, that WandaVision, Loki, all these kind of TV show things might follow the same, even maybe the movies might follow the same kind of release pattern as Black Widow or something similar. So there's something to recap that, because I thought that was pretty fascinating.
Yeah. And the interesting thing, he said that, because of the production issues, that they're trying to get new creative ways to release product to market. So the weekly format is one of them. The interesting thing he said was that just because it's had a weekly format release doesn't mean there won't be a bigger set to come afterwards.
Which is pretty interesting.
Which I like. So there's kind of a, if you like, the San Diego Comic-Con preview set that recently came out, which I've got actually downstairs. I haven't opened it yet. I meant to do it with you actually. We should do it as a live video.
I'm down for that.
Because I'm dying to open it, but I kind of want to do it together. It was kind of their first physical way to release anything associated with those properties. And which is why I think that San Diego Comic-Con set will be quite sought after, actually. But yeah, I'm all about these. I mean, you could do so much with WandaVision and Loki, and Paul Bettany,
Loki would be great.
Paul Bettany
autograph Gator Loki.
Diamond. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's the relic one with a bit.
The relic
Loki. Yeah,
with some scales.
Yeah, I want that. I really want that. I also want that. That helmet thing that Richard E. Grant was wearing.
Yes.
What they did with Buffy, Inkworks did this with Buffy. The prop steaks they had. They did slices.
Oh, yeah.
They did slices of the steak in the card. So it was they kind of sliced it as if it was like a carrot or cucumber or something. So imagine if they did that with the horn part of the helmet. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be really cool. I know it's kind of a left field idea, but it's the kind of creative stuff you can do with some of that.
And that's another thing we talked about Upper Deck with, really like good with there's the series called The Good. What is it called? Goodwinch?
Goodwin Champions. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So they're used to doing like cool, sick relics and pretty out of the box type of stuff. So I mean, it's not out of the question.
Yeah. So, there's all sorts of fun they can have with those, and I'm really looking forward to them coming out. But anyway, so Anime 2 won't be 2022. It will be probably 2023. And the plan is to have a new artist with each volume of Anime 2.
Yeah.
And I really like that idea. I mean, who knows who it will be, but if it'll be one artist, but I can't wait. Bring it on.
It's going to be a blast.
But Fleer Ultra Avengers will be before it. And it will be at some point this year, hopefully. And we saw something from it that we
we did
talk about. And
we did.
Gorgeous. I mean, it's original art in Fleer Ultra line is always top end. And he did confirm that he couldn't say much about it apart from to say that the artists on it are top end artists.
Top end, exciting.
And we can confirm
it's going to be awesome.
The case for at least one of them. So
it's going to be crazy to see that.
Yeah, that was nuts. I feel blessed. Not sorry to anyone who is envious of that. And what else? Flair. There are plans to do a new set, but not until at least 2023.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
I mean, Flair, man, Flair was great. So that'd be nice to see it come back.
Yeah. And another little thing. Remember when I asked him about the relic cards in Black Widow, about the numbering on them?
Yes.
I thought this was quite interesting, that they've kind of got a standing rule that they don't number the relic cards, which actually fits with what I've seen in Upper Deck products. They always have letters. So if you look at all the ones on EPAC for Doctor Strange, for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, for Thor Ragnarok, the card number won't be a number. It'll be something with some initials based on the actor who's on it. So on Black Widow, I thought it was interesting that actually was numbered, and yet there's a deliberate reason why they don't normally number them, in case they can't produce the numbers that are missing.
That's actually really interesting.
Yeah. I thought that was, and that makes perfect sense to me. So what's happened in the case of Black Widow, I don't know. I still actually think that the others will appear in a different Black Widow release at some point.
I think so. I mean, Upper Deck's pretty good about having that.
Because I looked at them and I think it's 7 through 12 that have appeared, so which would indicate that 1 through 6 will be in a different product. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. Anyway,
that does make perfect sense.
I'm easily confused, and it confused me. What can I tell you? And what else? I mean, there's so much kind of in there, but the basic thing is that there's going to be a lot coming out if they can catch up with stuff. So some of this stuff it was even 2021 that's falling into 2022 may even be the latter half of 2022. And I thought it was good that he acknowledged the fact that they won't pile things up.
I know.
It won't do that to collectors. I still think it's going to be challenging for people.
I think it's going to be really challenging, but I am appreciative that they said that, and they're not going to swarm the system with things. And I think that was a really big, important kind of thing to be said.
Yeah.
Because it is a giant worry,
Yeah, it's a challenge at the best. I remember in 2018, 2019, it got a bit bonkers, a bit much, because even if you had a space out with the physical release, you'd have the EPAC release of a product getting close to the physical release of another one. So you still had that different, it might be, oh yeah, well, we already released it. Yeah, but your EPAC release. And people don't plan for the EPAC releases because they don't tell us when they're going to be. So, anyway, it is what it is.
No, I'm with it.
It is what it is. And what about that story arc set?
That's crazy, by the way. Just insane.
As a different story arc each year.
That's going to be a crazy set, because the amount of some of these story arcs are going to give us various characters and incidents and costumes that we've never seen before, which is just going to be insane. But
it's great having a set that's so focused. I mean, this is one thing he said. Their sets have often had to be quite broad, and they'd had inserts before. So, for example, on Infinity War, there were some insert sets there which focused on the Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War comic book series, but I think they were only still 9 cards each. And in Marvel 80th, they had those 9 card panels, and each one looked at Death of Gwen Stacy or Civil War or House of M and things like that. But I would love, if you did a set, it doesn't have to be a massive set, but a set that was just focused on House of M or just focused on the original.
Oh, that would be crazy. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
No.
The comic cuts potential.
Oh,
the achievement.
It would be amazing. It would be really cool.
It would be so cool. And he did He didn't say which one the first one was, but his clue was letters. I've given that some thought, and I think I know what it is.
Tell me.
AVX.
Yeah, I was just about
Avengers
to say.
versus X-Men. Yeah.
Yes, I think you're right.
I think you're absolutely right. I was re-listening to it to prep for this episode, and I was like, of course. I couldn't think of it at the time because it was late in the evening, and
we were hearing so much information. It was kind of hard. So
it was good to be able to revisit it. But yeah, so there's lots of exciting stuff coming. When it will come, so just to recap, when it will come is always going to be a movable feast, especially this year. So in Q1, the only physical release that we're aware of that Travis could confirm was Marvel Annual 2021, which was delayed from 2021. That is going to be out 12th of January. So by the time people hear this, it'll be out. Spider-Man Metal Universe will be Q2, which is likely to be April or May. Also, Spidey Into the Verse is likely to be a similar time, early summer kind of vibe. Beyond that, Masterpieces is slated for fall, at least. If Ultra Avengers comes out, because Ultra Avengers is one that they'll try and keep away from Masterpieces, I would imagine, in terms of release schedule.
I think so too.
And so if when those land, there will be annual 2021, 2022, which is likely to be in the autumn, if they can get back to schedule on that. So you will potentially have 2 annual sets dropping this year. What else? Lots of stuff. It's exciting. I love it.
I mean, it's very exciting. It was a hell of a show. It was a hell of a God, just like, it was completely just crazy to hear all the stuff that's kind of in the pipeline.
We are spoiled, Noreen. We live in a pretty good time.
We are extremely spoiled.
We are. There were some thirsty years for Marvel card collectors.
Oh, we're ridiculous. Yeah, for sure. No,
and it's
I mean, we could be honest. Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, Travis, thank you. I know you listen, and those at Upper Deck who gave Travis the approval, notably Jason, the boss. Thank you for giving him the approval to at least show us something that would make our jewels drop live on air. So we truly appreciate that.
Thank you.
And Mum is, as always, the word. Next week's going to be an exciting one for folks, because there is going to be more Upper Deck in the house. So we can tell people that now.
I love it.
So, yeah.
I love it.
You wait for ages for Upper Deck guests to come along, and then you have 2 in 1 month.
And that's how it goes.
And that's how it goes. Much like their set releases. So, yeah, it kind of fits. All right. Thank you, my friend. Let's wrap us up. As ever, folks, please let us know if you're enjoying our podcasts. Rate, review, subscribe to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and on social media channels on Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitter. Find us at the MCC Pod, and you can email us at the mccpod@gmail.com, or leave us a voicemail at anchor.fm/mccp/message. Cucumber away is going to be the hashtag of the day.
Nice. Cucumber away. I love it. And with that, enjoy collecting, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast. Visuals and tasting notes for each episode can be found on our Facebook page. You can subscribe and leave us a voicemail via our home on anchor.fm/mccp. We're also on iTunes, Spotify, and all major podcast platforms. Please take a second to subscribe, like, and review our show wherever you get your podcasts. Our podcast can be found by Googling at the MCC Pod, which will also find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Our Facebook community is at MCCW, Marvel Card Collectors Worldwide, and MMC, Marvel Masterpieces Collectors. The great music we use is called Rocket Power by Kevin MacLeod. Thanks to the collectors, artists, and creators who support the Marvel Cards Fan Collective. We'll see you next time, and remember, it's a small hobby but a fun one. Make mine Marvel and enjoy collecting.